you ever find yourself spending hours perfecting a build order versus the AI, only to jump on the ladder and get jumped by some cheese, some timing attack, your opponent throws something at you and you just can't deal with it? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how I learned to deal with this and learned how to practice and perfect my build orders. I promise you, if you follow this method, you're going to be hitting your benchmarks like a pro. Of course, before you can learn a build order, you need to know where to find them and where to study them. So I recommend Spawning Tool. This is a place where a lot of people are going to send you when you begin. You can go up to this Build Orders tab and then filter by Protoss, Terran, Zerg, and by each matchup to find any build order that you want. They're all here. So I highly recommend this website. But of course, you can also go to the subreddits for each of the races. So you can go to All Things Protoss and then look on the sidebar. You'll find lots of helpful resources here. For Terran, it's the exact same, All Things Terran. And for Zerg, likewise. I highly recommend looking at SC2 Swarm. This has really helped me with my Zerg. And of course, you can find guides on YouTube, like mine. So the method is very simple. We're just going to be playing against the AI like we usually do, but we're going to add in one small thing, and I'll show you that. So open up a custom lobby against any AI opponent, add him in, make him very easy, that's not the point of this, and make sure you have your build order ready. So now we get into it. We just start doing our build order. So you're going to build your first supply depot, overlord, pylon, and then we're going to want to send a probe to scout. But instead of scouting, we're going to do something different to it. We're going to simulate being pressured by our opponent. We're going to simulate scouting our opponent. And all of this is going to be training our multitasking and our ability to go back home and macro like a pro. So in this game, I'm going to be doing a gateway scout, because in the majority of my matchups, I do a gateway scout. So I build this gateway, send a probe out. Awesome. Now this probe isn't going to go across the map. It's not actually going to do any scouting. What it's going to do is it's going to go to the bottom of my natural base, and then we begin the mini game. So I'm going to click towards the edge of its vision, and then I'm going to stop, go back home, macro, and keep repeating this, always trying to have this probe moving at all times. We want it to not stop. Now as you begin and start, you're going to be very bad at this. Your probe, while you're macroing at home, is going to take breaks, and mine does too. That's totally fine. If you get really, really good at this, your probe shouldn't stop at all. But if it's stopping, that's okay. So I'm doing a 1 gate expand at home while moving this probe towards the edge of its vision constantly, and I'm macroing and not missing a single beat. Got the nexus down, I'm going to build a core now, then I'm going to build a gas and a pylon, and all of this is simulating you scouting your opponent, or your opponent sending units at you and distracting you. Your build order needs to continue through all of this. It never stops, okay? So this is a great multitasking drill for you to do, and it's super simple. The great thing about it is that we're not actually losing anything from our build order. You're always going to send something that scouts, right? So you're able to do this. Now I am able to practice my build order fully using this method, all the way up until I choose to attack. You could keep practicing this for 10 minutes. One thing that I'm going to add though into this to make it extra hard, this is an extra challenge. So if you're doing really well, think about doing this. I'm going to build an adept. Usually this adept would go across the map and scout, right? So I'm going to add it into this probe challenge. So not only is my probe going to start moving around, I'm going to be trying to move an adept around the map all at the same time. So I'm multitasking 2 locations while I'm trying to master my build order. The build order I'm choosing to do is going to be a 4 gate blink. And this is really, really tight sort of timing attack that you need to perform, right? To really destroy a Terran player. And during this, you're going to be getting harassed by a Reaper. Widowmine drop's going to be coming in. You're going to be scouting. You're going to be thinking about what your opponent is doing and reacting. And just that process of thinking is going to distract you. So if you can make sure your build order is really well oiled, you're going to be in a perfect position. So like in this case, I'm making it more challenging for myself. I'm moving 2 units around the map at a time while macroing, getting blink, adding the robo. Now I'm going to add gateways. It is a really tough challenge. I highly recommend that you try this. You're going to be really, really surprised. Now, there are plenty of multitasking trainers out there available in the market that are readily available just by searching through the arcade. For example, I found this one, Legacy of the Void Multitasking Trainer. This map has actually been around for a very long time. I remember playing a version of it in Wings of Liberty, so it's been a very effective tool for people for many, many years. But I think my version is slightly better. I'm not saying this map is bad, in fact it's very, very useful, but it has some limitations. For example, you're not playing on a map that you're going to be playing on the ladder. You're playing in this weird constructed map where your natural is right next to your base. You're not worrying about walling or anything like this, so you're not going to be picking up the same skills that you'd be facing against a ladder opponent. Another issue is they have all these arbitrary restraints, but let's say you have a build order that breaks one of these restraints. You instantly lose. So there are definitely some downsides to using this kind of map, when you could just be playing against the AI on a custom ladder map and getting the full ladder experience. Now at this point, you might be thinking this is all a little bit silly. Nobody in their right mind actually does this. You would be wrong. When I was a fully active pro gamer, the way I was learning build orders was exactly this method. No joke. I would spend a couple of hours each day whenever I had a new build order that I wanted to learn, just practicing exactly like this. Traditionally, I found that by jumping in just against the AI normally, probably like how a lot of you are practicing right now, you really didn't learn. I would just jump on ladder after that or in a tournament and I'd instantly lose to the first thing that attacked me because I was still focused so much on the build order. So then I designed this method. Seriously, I did, and I did it all through 2017, 2018, 2019 during my active years. Of course, learning build orders is not the only thing that you need in StarCraft 2. I also have a drill that will turn you into a mini-map awareness master. You can check it out right here.